this day in Seventh Day Adventist history, January 23, 1859. It was in Jacksonville, Illinois on this day that Hetty Hurd was born. At the age of 8, she was converted and lived a religious life until the death of her father, which occurred when she was about 13 years old. At that time, she drifted away and even lost faith in the inspiration of the Scriptures. Hetty became a school teacher. In 1884, when she was brought into contact with the Seventh Day Adventist Church, she was living with the family of her brother-in-law, Harvey Gray, at Lemoore, California. She was teaching at a large district school, and her bosses were so pleased with her teaching, they made a proposition to her to teach at that school for the rest of her life. That fall, there was going to be a camp meeting in Oakland. Harvey told Hetty his family was going, and she was invited to go along. She could camp with them. She didn't even have to attend the meeting if she didn't want to. After the meetings, they would take some time to go to the ocean beach, the Seal Rocks, and other places in San Francisco. This sounded great, so she decided to go. But she would stay in her tent and not go to any of the meetings. But her tent was close enough to the meetings tent that she could hear the beautiful music. And as she listened from the outside, she also heard the Bible truths from her tent. Finally, she slipped into the meeting tent. This continued until she heard a discourse on the saints' inheritance and a description of the New Jerusalem. At that time, she said to herself, "I will be there." She took some Bible studies and was baptized. When she arrived back home, she joined the Lemoore Seventh Day Adventist Church. It was shortly thereafter that she gave up all of her jewelry. She gave it all for the Conference Mission Society. Hetty would become a Bible instructor and taught Bible instructors in California. And in 1887, she went to London, England, before accepting a call to Cape Town, South Africa for 5 years. Here she met recently widowed Stephen N. Haskell in the spring of 1895. In 1896, they would both move on to Australia, and 1 year later, in February 24, 1897, they were married. There, she would work for Avondale College for 3 years, and she would be preceptress and matron of that school for 2 of those years. In 1899, the Haskells would move to the United States. They would work in New York City, Nashville, New England, and California until Hetty died at the New England Sanitarium, Melrose, Massachusetts, on October 21, 1919. On this day, January 23, 1859, Hetty Hurd Haskell was born in Jacksonville, Illinois.